So welcome to 60 Seconds. We're inspired by the legendary Just a Minute on BBC Radio 4. 60 Seconds is a fast-talking comedy programme where the rules are really simple. I'm Mike Chambers, and my task today is to challenge or channel my inner Nicholas Parsons with a fintech flair and dive into carefully curated topical payment subjects. They'll be from faster payments right the way to frictionless checkout and everything in between. Now, today we've lined up a fantastic panel of talented, creative, inventive payment nerds for this episode. And we've broke a little bit with tradition because the observant amongst you will realise that we've eschewed tradition and we've only got 3 guests. Tech issues has prevented our 4th guest joining us. So the panel today is Zhenya Winter, Laura McCracken and Teresa Connors. So thank you for joining me on the panel today.
Pleased to be here.
And in time-honoured fashion, I'm going to ask my guests to speak on payments topics for 60 seconds without hesitation, repetition or deviation. And we're going to start with our first subject. And Zhenya, as our returning champion, I wonder whether I could ask you to speak for those 60 seconds on the subject of accidentally sending money to the wrong person.
Yes, thank you, Mike. So we've all done it before. We've fat-fingered our way and sent money to the wrong person. But the fortunate thing is that we've now got safeguards in place. I'm thinking here specifically about confirmation of payee, for instance. So if I do make a mistake and type in the wrong number, it will come up and say it's not a match, it is a match. Or so I feel that I'm kind of rescued from that occurring again in the future. I think it's particularly important when you're dealing with things like fraudsters as well. Is it an accidental payment? No, but I've been duped to do it.
Go for it.
Yeah, I did think there was a little stumble there. Yeah.
I think that was a good hesitation. So, with 19 seconds on the clock, Teresa, I'm going to hand you the subject.
That's what it means.
Sorry. That's if you call somebody out, you've got to take the baton. 19 seconds on accidentally sending money to the wrong person. Starting now.
So, as Zhenya has so eloquently described, we all have fat fingers. And there's a fear often of when you're sending a payment, particularly a large size volume of money, that crikey, I'm going to send it to the right place. So something that I do a lot is to send a penny in the first instance, because then I know.
And that's the minute. So you were speaking as the minute went off, Teresa. So you get. Do you know sometimes you can't stop your phone from making a noise? You were speaking as the minute terminated, so you get a point for doing that. There was a little hesitation there. I thought Laura was going to jump in.
It was very close when she said volume of payments.
I was. You're right.
Or volume of money or whatever.
So almost there, but well done. And to say that, then Teresa, you're now in the lead with 1 point, and everybody else has got no points. So I'm going to pass now. Well, it's Teresa, your turn to lead this time. And your subject to speak on for a minute without hesitation, repetition or deviation is trying to convince somebody that cash is still king. Trying to convince somebody that cash is still king. Starting now.
Trying to convince somebody that cash is still king depends on who you're speaking to, because for some people, they rely exclusively on cash in order to budget. People rely. Oh, I said rely twice.
Yeah, no hesitation.
Zhenya?
Twice. Yeah.
What did you call out, Zhenya?
Well, she hesitated.
And I said rely twice, I think.
All right, so multiple errors from Teresa. So revenge. It's a revenge call out.
Okay, repetition or revenge, one of the two. 41 seconds left on the clock. It goes to you, Zhenya, trying to convince someone that cash is still king, starting now.
It's not particularly difficult from me living in London to talk about cash as king. I used to live in Camberwell, and I could go through a whole weekend of activities where I needed. I wasn't able to use anything else apart from that, whether that be going to the dentist.
I think there was a little hesitation.
I can see both Laura's eyes move and Teresa's move there in terms of that hesitation. I think you're right, Teresa, but you did verbally say it rather than Laura saying it.
I've been shy.
Yeah, Laura.
I'm just waiting to pounce.
Going to kill me later.
This is my first time playing this game. This is weird.
I'm getting a new mentor. It isn't going to be Teresa anymore.
Right then, Teresa, 21 seconds left on the clock, trying to convince somebody that cash is king.
So cash to some people is very much king. They rely on it for their budgeting. They see literally how much money they've got in their pocket or their purse, and they know how much they've got to spend. They also know what their spending profile is, and when payments for various items, say utility bills, because some people still use cash to pay bills like that, they know exactly where they are.
And, well,
Actually, I was
it's on
going to
the clock
hesitate
there,
before it went. She said bills twice.
I did.
but the clock had gone, Zhenya. The
Did
clock
it? Well, not when I opened my mouth, but maybe the
had-
sound
when
didn't
words
come
came
through.
out.
Okay.
Okay, so you were speaking, Teresa, as the clock went, and at the point Zhenya challenged you, but Teresa, you get the point on the basis the clock had making the noise. Laura, it's your time to start this time without hesitation, without repetition, and without deviation. And the subject is the first time I bought Bitcoin. The first time I bought Bitcoin, starting now.
The first time I bought Bitcoin was when I got a call from Brad Pitt. He told me, Laura, I am so impressed with all these wonderful podcasts you've been doing with Mike Chambers and the massive crew. And I have to tell you, I'm having a problem with Angelina. She's taken all of my funds and I'm unable to release them. So what I need for you to do is to head to the bank, because you're such a lovely lady. I think you're so amazing that I want for us to come together.
I think there's hesitation there.
Not
I
sure
think
it's about
there's
Bitcoin
hesitation.
either.
Yeah.
I was just getting there. You're never
I
going
have
to
to
hear the
say
end of
that
the
was
story.
a great story, but probably a fair call. But the trouble is, I don't know which one to give it to now, Teresa or Zhenya.
Well, I interrupted.
But we
Okay,
can
let's.
share it. We can share. We can have half each.
Well,
No,
that'd be
I
13
interrupted
seconds each,
first.
but I would be breaking the rules. I'm going to give the baton to Zhenya for 26 seconds.
I don't really want it. I know nothing about Bitcoin, but anyway, I'll
It's
take
your
it.
opportunity to show us you know nothing about Bitcoin. So the first time I brought Bitcoin, 26 seconds starting now.
I've never bought Bitcoin. I've been asked by family members whether it's a good idea or not. I suggested it wasn't, but then I've seen that it's risen massively. So I feel I've made a serious error in informing them of that. I think people talk to me about things like Ethereum, and I think that is a kind of cryptocurrency similar to Bitcoin. But that's mainly used, in my experience, for things like romantic fraud.
You're there now. The timer has gone.
Well
I'm going to turn
done.
the timer up a bit there, so you might hear it a bit more. But so you get a point, Zhenya, for knowing
Great.
nothing about Bitcoin, but talking as the minute round up. Let's move on to the next question, and this is interesting. I am doing this in a proper order, and it means Zenya's going to start. So, guys, you're just going to have to jump in,
Jump in.
with a challenge. And the hesitation, repetition, and deviation. 60 seconds, starting with Zhenya, on when my debit card was declined in public. Starting now.
I have had my credit card declined in public, actually at a Sainsbury's.
It's debit
It was very
cards.
embarrassing.
Hey, good,
So it's
good,
debit
good
card.
call. So deviation, it was debit card was declined in public, and your credit card was declined in public, Zhenya. So it's the wrong type of card. So you deviated from debit cards to credit cards. Teresa, you've got 53 seconds on the clock. When my debit card was declined in public, starting now.
It's always horrible if anything, including a debit card, gets declined in public, because there's a number of reasons for that. Because there's a queue of people typically behind you thinking, what on earth is going on here? You're holding us all up. But also there's the embarrassment, because you feel, I do have the funds on my account. I am actually good for whatever it is if I'm buying it in Sainsbury's or wherever else. There's also something about why would you use a debit card anyway, depending on the purchase and the value of the purchase. So
I purchased twice.
I did, yes, I
So
did.
Zhenya, you're calling Teresa out for repetition on, was it purchase?
Purchase.
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, so remember, Zhenya, the question is when my debit card was declined in public, not my credit card, when my debit card was bought in public. There are 23 seconds left on the clock. Go for it.
The best thing to do if your debit card is declined is obviously to ring the bank. It takes far too long in my experience, well, it used to anyway. Last time I did it probably was about a year ago when I was in a supermarket. I actually have had more embarrassing experiences where alarms have gone off falsely and people have thought I've been shoplifting. So actually,
Okay, you're
that was
there on
more
the minute.
embarrassing.
So well done.
But
You get a point for talking as the minute went on. And we're going to move now to Laura for you to start on this question. You've got 60 seconds without hesitation, without repetition, and without deviation on the subjects of the direct debit I forgot I had. The direct debit I forgot I had. Starting now.
The other day, I was looking through my bank statement and I saw a direct debit to Match.com. Now, I don't remember when I got off of Match.com. I'm sure it was in the 90s, but for some reason, I didn't notice the URL of Match.com showing up.
is she allowed to say Match.com? She said it 3 times.
I'm afraid not. It's repetition. It's not
Yeah.
in the title. But
Not in the title.
no, you get to, as in you get a point for that for interacting. I'm sort of interested in the rest of that story, Laura. So let's get you to try and get the baton so we can hear more about your subscription to Match.com. Because you interrupted and correctly, Zhenya, it goes to you. There are 40 seconds left on the clock, so plenty of time to mess up and the baton to go back to Laura. The question or the statement is the direct debit I forgot I had, starting now.
There are quite a lot of direct debits that I've forgotten about. This often happens because you sign up to subscriptions for things, and it's much more used as a tool now to limit the idea of pulling out the renewal.
Oh, hang on a minute. Teresa, what do you call out?
Hesitation.
Was it?
A slight hesitation, I think we'll say there. A slight one. But given
You see, Zenya's sneaky because she always throws in filler words for her hesitations, which is why I never push the button. But I'm not sure if I'm going to be that nice.
You push that button.
I got to push the button harder.
Laura, dispense with the being nice. Do push the button.
Yeah, none of us are nice. We're in payments. We're ruthless.
I'm from Texas. We're always nice.
Oh, okay.
So let's give Teresa the benefit of the doubt on that one.
I wish I hadn't now, because I've got nothing to say on this subject. Okay.
Well, you're going to have to find 25 seconds of stuff to say about the direct debit I forgot I had, starting now.
I genuinely don't believe I've ever forgotten about a direct debit I have, because I'm quite on top of my finances. Building on what Zhenya said, it's very much a subscription game, isn't it? And I know that there is a founder out there that has built a business on sweeping people's bank accounts for direct debits, presenting them to them and saying, did you remember you had this one? And you're actually losing, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 quid a month, whatever it is. And
that's our minute up, Teresa. You get a point for speaking as the minute went on. At the moment, jointly in the lead are Zhenya and Teresa, and Laura's in third
place. Third place.
Second place.
That's bronze, right?
Bronze. You might take bronze. Here's your opportunity.
I might take bronze.
Laura, this is your opportunity to upgrade your bronze to silver or maybe even gold. And your question without hesitation, repetition or deviation is the weirdest thing I have brought with loose change. The weirdest thing I've brought with loose change, starting now.
The weirdest thing I've ever bought with loose change was when I was rollerblading through Los Angeles on the boulevard. I saw this man standing there in a wedding dress, wearing some earbuds, and he was drinking some gin, and he was offering shots for 25 pence. And I just said to myself, when am I going to get to have a little shot of gin off of
Shots
this?
twice.
Yeah, I can't do this. I can't do this.
It's really hard.
I can't.
It's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be hard, but it was a correct interjection. So, Teresa, thank you.
I'm also not sure about the use of currency there. If you're in the America, you're not going to use pence. You said it was 25 pence. So
probably,
I
know, you're right. I'm confused.
I think it should have been cents, but I didn't want to say anything.
Who are you?
So we're seeing the real.
You're the one that's winning.
This is a problem for me. Yes, I'm confused.
But whether you said cents or pence, Laura, you got away with that because Zhenya didn't challenge you, but Teresa has challenged you. So it does go back to Teresa now. 31 seconds on the clock. So a valiant effort, Laura. The weirdest thing I've brought with loose change. Teresa, starting now.
So a couple of months ago, we went racing, some friends and I. We went to Kempton Park, and as we were entering the race course, there was a board up there, the bookies board. Oh, I said board twice.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'll pull it out. She's
She always calls
nominated
herself
herself, so she's hesitated anyway there.
Yeah, I did.
So,
I've got a really good story.
so we'll have to come back to the story. You've got 18, the next person's got 18 seconds, so you'll have to challenge really quickly so we hear your story, just like the Match.com story. Now, Teresa, I think you get the point because you actually challenged yourself. But the
No,
first
well then
other
that's easy to rack up points. You just
I
challenge
won't let it
yourself.
happen again.
Yeah, give me that point. Give me
Zhenya,
that
you
point.
did win that. You did interject after Teresa challenged herself, so I'm going to give you the baton.
Well, that
The
was for
weirdest
hesitation, not for repetition.
thing- With what?
Teresa called herself out for repetition. I called her out for hesitation. So
You're a
it's two
tough
separate
person to play
things.
this game. I'm going to have to give you both the point there, so
Yes.
that just causes
You cheeky
Amazing.
one. You
That's
cheeky
not
one.
okay. No. I object. You can't be giving out double points.
All right, you can have a point as well.
How am
Laura.
I
There
going
you
to
go.
hold on to
Why
my
does she
bronze,
get a point?
Michael?
Don't
How
know.
am I going to hold on to my bronze if you're handing out double points? It's not
So
okay.
before we descend into anarchy, 18 seconds on the clock. Teresa, the weirdest thing.
Me? Oh, is it still
No,
back to me?
you see, I'm a useless host. Zhenya, the weirdest thing I've brought with loose change.
I'm always heading off to the shop to buy strange things. My husband always despairs about it because I'm buying things like passion fruit, I'm buying tiramisu, I'm buying
buying,
Hey,
Interject.
hey.
Yep.
Yeah, well done,
said
Laura.
buying
Point to
twice.
Laura.
Yep.
Your bronze might be in jeopardy, but yes, you're right. For Laura, you pulled out on repetition. Laura, it goes to you. There are 5 seconds, despite the fact you just heard the buzzer. There are 5 seconds on the clock. The weirdest thing I brought with loose change.
I love buying using my loose change to pay
Well,
cryptocurrency
hesitation.
people on the street.
I'm afraid it was a hesitation.
I
Zhenya,
can't
you
even
get a
get
point
5
for that.
seconds.
And you've got 1 second left, Zhenya. It goes to you. The weirdest thing I brought with loose change.
Milkshake, cigarettes,
There you go. You've
gin.
done it. You were speaking as the timer didn't go
That
off.
sounds like a song, cigarettes and alcohol.
We never did hear about Match.com. That's a real change. Right. I'm going to make this up now. So, Laura, I'm going to get you to start this one. It's 60 seconds without hesitation, without repetition, and without deviation on the mystery of unexplained bank fees. The mystery of unexplained bank fees. Starting now.
I find bank fees to be very odd. You know, when I look at my Amex statement and I see that when I've been traveling to whatever country, there are always these weird charges that show up. And I don't understand why they can do this time and time again. I constantly call them.
Time.
Yeah, time and time again. So
That's
yes,
a bit harsh because that's a standard phrase. That's a bit harsh.
the
Yeah.
duplication. Is it hyphenated? Is it not hyphenated? I don't know. So I'm going to take it as a challenge.
Time and time again.
And there are 38 seconds left. Zhenya on the mystery of unexplained bank fees. Starting now.
We tend to get more bank fees if you're a business banking customer. They can charge for multiple different things. I always speak to Virgin, my bank, and say to them, can you explain what that's about? How do if I cancel my account, I pull all my money out, try and close it down, they then charge me fees on top of that when they've already asked me to get my balance down to zero. So it's a very complex issue, not something that consumers necessarily need to worry about too much, unless it's obviously for things like having.
And that's the minute. Well done. You were speaking
Very
to Zhenya as the clock ticked or the buzzer went. That means you've just pulled ahead in the lead from Teresa. So Teresa's in second, and Laura is catching up in bronze at the moment. Right, let's start with Teresa on this one. And shall we go for? Let's go for the thrill of finding a forgotten coin. The thrill of finding a forgotten coin, starting now.
Well, I am a woman of many handbags, and not only do I find forgotten coins in there, occasionally, oh joy, I find a forgotten note. And it's lovely to find, first of all, for the thrill of just being richer, but also because you cast your mind back, because if it's in a different currency, you think, oh, the last time I used this then, I was in America, or I was somewhere in Europe, I was on holiday with friends. So it's a lovely recollection.
Lovely, twice.
Oh, did I? Okay.
Perfect, Zhenya. You're just edging that gap out in the lead. So your fellow contestants are going to have to really pull their socks up now for a repetition. So with 32 seconds on the clock, the thrill of finding a forgotten coin starting now.
Extra money is always good news, especially if you've moved to Scotland like I have and have a massive new mortgage and a property that needs renovation done to it. The thrill...
I'm sorry, hesitation.
Laura's called you out for hesitation.
Yep.
Point to you, Laura. And there are 17 seconds on the clock. So, Laura, the thrill of finding a forgotten coin goes to you, starting now.
The thrill of finding a forgotten coin makes me feel confident as a disorganized person, because I have forgotten coins all over the place. It's a wonderful thing to see that you actually are adding value to yourself, your life, your savings, your future.
Hesitation.
And that's the minute. No, the minute did call up there. So that's for Laura, that one. Who should we choose to start with? I don't know.
What did she get that? I called her out before the minute went.
Yeah, but I think the buzzer had gone.
was just
there
on.
might be a bit of a lag because you're in Scotland. I mean, these guys
just
are going to go so far that there's a delay in
Big
getting all the way
house.
to Scotland. So I don't know. Let's start with Teresa.
No, I'm happy she kept that point. She's, it's all about competition. We like that.
Did you look happy? You look really happy.
So Zenya's playing mind games with you guys now. So she's not really happy that the point went elsewhere. Right, 1 minute.
It's a charity case. I'm a charity case.
No.
No.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll use whatever advantages I have if I can make you guys feel sorry for me to give me a point.
Shameless.
I'm shameless, yeah.
I'll tell you what, Laura, that shameless plug worked. Let's start with you on this one. 60
right.
seconds without hesitation, repetition, without deviation on the joys of one-click shopping. The joys of one-click shopping, starting now.
What I say to you guys is never drink and prime. The other night I was at home after I'd had several pints of lager, and I was listening to some live streamers on Prime.
No, there's a lot of hesitation there.
Yeah.
And I said Prime twice. Never drink in Prime. Never drink in Prime.
So by your own admission, you repetition by too much drink. But Zhenya, you called it out on hesitation. So hesitation, 44 seconds. The joys of one-click shopping, starting now.
It's all about reducing friction within the payment journey. It's so important. We have that aspect also when you look at other things like cross-border payments, for instance. But if you think about basket abandonment rates, the faster, the easier the journey that you have to carry out that transaction, the better. And that also means a lot in terms of brand recognition, customer experience, and of course, the more money you can get through on that channel, the better. So I'm a big fan of having that journey where it's just one click.
Journeys twice.
2 journeys. Teresa, point to you. 5 seconds left, so no pressure. 5 seconds. Teresa, the joys of one-click shopping, starting now.
If only it was always just one-click shopping, because it drives me mad when it's click here and you're...
So that's the end of the minute. You were speaking as the minute went, so you get a point for that. We've got one more question, and at the present is in gold place is Zhenya, in silver is Teresa, and in bronze is Laura. So Laura, let me ask you to start to try and address that bronze position. And you've got 1 minute to speak without hesitation, repetition or deviation on trying to understand payment acronyms. Trying to understand payment acronyms. Starting now.
I believe that payment acronyms should be illegal. It's not fair to those people who are entering the industry. Many times I've found myself asking and Googling, what is BNPL? What is AML?
What is?
I mean,
She just said what is twice.
I'm afraid so. I'm afraid so, but valiant effort. No, you did. Well, you've got 41 seconds left, so you did 19 seconds. Zhenya, we pass the baton to you. trying to understand payment acronyms, starting now.
Payment acronyms, I always think the more access you have to a glossary of terms, the better. Payments, financial services, fintech, we love the acronyms that we use, whether that's confirmation of payee, COP, verification of payee, VOP, and then there are many others which we probably don't even need to cover today. Probably if you think about payments modernization and where we're going in terms of developing roadmaps, regulation.
I'm sorry, there was a hesitation there twice. I missed the first one.
Okay, Laura, well done. You missed
first
the
she had an
payee.
and then she had a hesitation. So too many hesitations.
You get the point. But you guys, you both missed off payee, verification of payee, confirmation of payee. So you were very kind. But Laura, the baton goes to you. 4 seconds left. Trying to understand payment acronyms, starting now.
We should make it a law that no one should be able to use payment acronyms. It's just not fair.
You're there. You've done it. Well done. Speaking
I
as
got
the
a
clock
point.
went.
I got a point.
You got a
Did.
point. So your joy at getting the point, unfortunately, Laura, doesn't change the order for today. In bronze position, Laura, it was yourself. In silver, it was Teresa. And in first in gold was Paul Merton. No, Zhenya Winter. If you watch the show, Paul Merton wins every week, and he was always the returning champion. So you've become the Paul Merton of 60 seconds, Zhenya. Congratulations.
I'm very pleased, and may I say I was intimidated about this one because, as I said, Teresa's been my mentor for many years, and I look at Laura from afar when she's doing all her fantastic podcasts, and if this is a great example of the power of women in the payment space, something that I really believe in. So I'm delighted. I'm sorry the other gentleman couldn't join us, but actually I enjoyed it, just the four of us.
Well, I just have to say, I love being in third place because that means I have so much more room for improvement. At least that's what my boss used to always tell me when I got my reviews.
Perfect.
I've thoroughly enjoyed this experience. Thank you all. Zhenya, congratulations. You maintain your 100% record.
Thank you very
Perfect.
much.
So well done,
Gracious.
Zhenya. Thank you.
And you guys will never find out what I sent to Brad Pitt in Bitcoin.
Well,
Yeah, I
we're
want
gonna
an
have
email
to-
afterwards with the full story so I can read it over the weekend.
We're going to have to invite you back, Laura, to get you on the next edition to find out what really went on there. But guys, thank you so much for being on today's panel. Thank you for being up for making a laugh. Thank you for being up for making mistakes. The winners and bronze and silver, you can rest in that glory over the weekend. As we close out this episode of 60 Seconds, we're indebted to Ian Messiter and Nicholas Parsons for the original show. Thanks for listening to 60 Seconds, and we'll be back with another episode soon. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.